The first light of dawn is a universal promise. It creeps over the horizon, a silent, impartial artist painting the sky in hues of rose, gold, and lavender. It touches the spires of skyscrapers and the leaves of countryside trees with the same gentle brush. In this pristine moment, the day is a blank slate, a fresh canvas of 24 hours delivered to every doorstep, to every soul stirring from sleep. Yet, how this day will unfold, whether it will be a masterpiece of joy and productivity or a muddled sketch of frustration and weariness, does not lie in the hands of fate alone. The secret, whispered on the morning breeze, is this: your day is not something that happens to you. It is something you create. To rise and shine is not just a cheerful greeting. It is a call to arms, a philosophy of active participation in the crafting of your own experience. The rise is the foundational act. It is the conscious decision to engage with the world. For some, it is a literal physical struggle against the warmth of the blankets, a battle won with the blare of an alarm clock. For others, it is a gentle, mindful transition from the realm of dreams to the realm of possibility. But beyond the physical act, rise is a metaphor for mindset. It is the choice to lift your spirits, to elevate your thoughts from the fog of sleep or the lingering anxieties of yesterday. To rise is to assume a position of readiness. It is to plant your feet on the floor and declare, silently or aloud, that you are present, you are alive, and you are ready to meet whatever comes. This initial movement sets the trajectory. A sluggish, resentful rise often leads to a day spent playing catch-up, feeling perpetually behind the curve of life's demands. A purposeful, intentional rise, however, is like a runner adopting a confident starting block stance. It primes the entire system for a forward momentum. And then comes the shine. This is the most misunderstood part of the equation. To shine does not mean to be perpetually, effervescently happy. It does not demand a painted-on smile in the face of genuine grief or a denial of life's inherent challenges. The world is not divided into those who are sunny and those who are cloudy. We all contain entire weather systems within us. To shine is to allow your intrinsic light, your unique combination of passion, kindness, curiosity, and resilience, to permeate your actions. It is the decision to be the best version of yourself you can be in any given moment. For a teacher, it might shine in the patience she shows a struggling student. For a programmer, it might be the focused perseverance in debugging a complex piece of code. For a parent, it is the warmth in a goodnight hug after a long, exhausting day. Your shine is your authentic contribution to the tapestry of the day. It is the energy you project, the attitude you carry, and the impact you have on the space and people around you. So, how does one operationalize this philosophy? How do we move from the passive reception of days to their active creation? It begins in the sacred space of the morning. The first hour after waking is disproportionately powerful. It is the rudder that steers the ship of the day. Consciously designing a morning ritual is like a blacksmith tempering steel. It builds resilience and purpose. This ritual is deeply personal. It could be 10 minutes of silent meditation, setting an intention for the day ahead. It could be the invigorating stretch of yoga, feeling the body come alive. It could be the simple grounding act of brewing a cup of coffee and savoring its aroma without the distraction of a screen. It could be journaling, pouring out worries to clear mental space, or writing down 3 points of gratitude to anchor the mind in abundance rather than lack. This ritual is a non-negotiable appointment with yourself, a declaration that your peace and focus are the priority before the world's demands come knocking. However, the most meticulously crafted morning can be shattered by a single piece of bad news, a traffic jam, or a critical email. This is where the true test of making your day lies. Adversity and inconvenience are not anomalies. They are features of the human experience. The philosophy of rise and shine is not a guarantee of a perfect, obstacle-free life. It is instead a toolkit for navigation. It is the practiced ability to pivot. When a carefully planned meeting falls through, the choice emerges. Do you spend the next hour fuming about the wasted time? Or do you reclaim that suddenly free hour to tackle a project you never seem to have time for? When a conversation turns sour, do you react with equal venom? Or do you consciously choose to de-escalate, to listen, to respond rather than react? Every irritation, every setback is a fork in the road. One path leads to a downward spiral, where one negative event colors everything that follows. The other path requires a conscious recalibration, a deep breath, a mental reset, and a reaffirmation of your intention to steer the day back on course. This is not about suppressing negative emotions. It is about acknowledging them without letting them take the driver's seat. This sense of agency extends to our interactions. We are social creatures, and our days are woven from the threads of countless interactions, with family, colleagues, strangers on the street, even voices on social media. You have the power to infuse these interactions with your shine, a genuine compliment to the barista, a patient ear for a colleague's concern, a moment of undivided attention for your child. These are the bricks with which a positive day is built. Conversely, you can choose to engage in gossip, to respond to haste with hostility, to build walls instead of bridges. The energy you put out into your social ecosystem has a boomerang effect. By making someone else's moment slightly brighter, you invariably brighten your own. The act of shining, therefore, becomes a self-reinforcing cycle. The more you practice it, the more natural it becomes, and the more the world seems to reflect that light back to you. Yet, we must also make peace with the days when the light feels dim. There will be mornings when rising feels like a Herculean effort, when the well of shine seems to have run dry. On these days, the ambition is not to construct a dazzling, perfect day. It is to make a good enough day. It is to practice self-compassion. On these days, rise and shine might mean simply getting out of bed and taking a shower. It might mean accomplishing one small, manageable task. It might mean giving yourself permission to rest, to recharge, understanding that not every day can be a harvest. Some must be for fallow ground. Forcing a shine when you are running on empty is inauthentic and unsustainable. True strength lies in recognizing the ebb and flow of your own energy and honoring it. A day made with self-care and honesty on a difficult morning is as much a victory as the most productive day born from a joyful one. As the day wanes and the sun begins its descent, casting long contemplative shadows, there is a final act of creation, the reflection. How did you wield your agency today? Where did you choose to rise to a challenge? Where did you allow your light to shine? And where did you stumble, allowing external circumstances to dictate your inner weather? This is not an exercise in self-judgment, but in mindful observation. It is the process of learning, of refining the craft of day-making. Perhaps you noticed that skipping your morning walk left you feeling frazzled, or that a difficult conversation was handled with more grace than you thought you possessed. This nightly audit closes the loop, turning each day into a lesson that prepares you for the next blank canvas. Rise and shine. Your day is what you make it is ultimately an empowering mantra of ownership. It transfers the locus of control from the chaotic external world to the manageable internal world of your own choices, attitudes, and actions. It acknowledges that while we cannot control the wind, we can always adjust our sails. Every morning, the universe hands you a block of raw, uncarved time. You are the sculptor. You can complain that the stone is too hard or the tools are too blunt, or you can set to work, chisel in hand, and begin to shape something of meaning, something of beauty, something that bears the unique and unmistakable mark of your spirit. So, when the dawn breaks tomorrow, remember the power you hold. Take a deep breath, plant your feet, and decide. Rise, and then go forth and shine. This philosophy, however, extends far beyond the personal and into the collective. When a critical mass of individuals embraces the rise and shine mentality, the very fabric of a community, a workplace, or a family begins to transform. Imagine an office where, instead of a chorus of complaints about Monday mornings, there is a shared, unspoken understanding that each person is responsible for contributing to a positive atmosphere. It starts with one person choosing to greet colleagues with genuine warmth, another deciding to frame challenges as interesting problems instead of impossible crises. This energy is contagious. A team led by someone who has mastered their own morning ritual operates with greater focus and resilience. A household where parents model intentionality and a positive response to setbacks becomes a training ground for emotionally intelligent children. The day you make is not an isolated island. Its shores touch the days of everyone you encounter. Your decision to rise and shine can be the catalyst that helps someone else find the strength to do the same, creating a ripple effect of proactive creation over passive endurance. The tools for this great work are not exotic or expensive. They are found in the mundane, elevated by intention. The daily commute, often a source of stress, can be transformed. Instead of fuming in traffic, that time can become an audiobook session, expanding your mind, or a podcast that inspires new ideas. It can be a few minutes of silence, a precious buffer between the demands of home and work. The lunch break, so often eaten hastily at a desk, can be a deliberate act of nourishment and connection. A walk in a nearby park to reconnect with nature, or a real conversation with a friend. Even mundane chores like washing dishes or folding laundry can become moments of mindfulness, where the focus on the sensory experience, the warm water, the scent of soap, anchors you in the present, quieting the noisy mind. When we infuse these in-between moments with purpose, we reclaim our time and refuse to relegate large swathes of our lives to the category of things to be endured. We are making our day, piece by piece, in the grand and the granular. But let us be clear, this is a practice, not a perfection. There will be days when the canvas gets splattered with mud. There will be moments of failure, of forgetfulness, where you fall back into old patterns of reactivity and blame. The key is not to use these moments as evidence that the philosophy is flawed, but to see them as integral to the process. Each misstep is a data point. You might realize, I see that when I skip breakfast, my patience is paper thin by 10 a.m. Or I learned that responding to a terse email immediately only escalates the situation. These are not failures. They are the masterclasses in the art of day-making. The commitment is to gently, and without self-flagellation, return to the principles, to take the next breath, to make the next choice a better one. The resilience built from getting back on track after a stumble is far more durable than the fleeting pride of a seemingly perfect day. Ultimately, rise and shine, your day is what you make it, is a profound act of self-authorization. It is a rejection of the victim narrative that so easily entangles us. It is the decision to stop waiting for the perfect conditions, the right motivation, or external validation to begin living a good day. The good day begins now, in this very moment, with the next thought you choose to entertain, the next word you choose to speak, the next action you choose to take. It is the understanding that a life well lived is not a destination reached through a series of monumental achievements, but a mosaic composed of thousands upon thousands of well-lived days. So, as you stand at the threshold of tomorrow's dawn, remember the power that rests in your hands. The sun will rise as it always does, offering its impartial gift of light and time. Your job is to meet it, to rise to the occasion of your own life, with all its beauty and its mess, to shine your unique light, however flickering it may feel, into the corners of your world. Do not merely weather your days, craft them. Do not just pass through time, inhabit it, shape it, and fill it with the profound, powerful, and unique essence of you. The chisel is in your hand. The blank canvas of the new day awaits. Go forth and make it magnificent. This conscious crafting of our days is, in fact, a quiet rebellion against the modern currents of haste and distraction. We live in an age of relentless notification, of curated highlight reels that can make our own mundane reality feel inadequate, and of pressures that pull our attention in a dozen different directions before we've even had our first conscious thought. To rise and shine is to build a fortress of intentionality against this siege. It is the deliberate act of muting the noise, both external and internal, to hear the whisper of your own soul. What do you need today? Not what your inbox demands or your social feed suggests, but what will nourish your spirit, challenge your mind, and bring a sense of authentic accomplishment. This is the core of the practice, a daily realignment with your own internal compass. The benefits of this practice are cumulative and compound over time. A single well-made day is a victory. A week of them builds momentum. A month forges a new identity. You are no longer someone who is at the mercy of your circumstances, but someone who navigates them with grace and agency. This shift in identity is the ultimate prize. Confidence is no longer a fragile thing dependent on external success, but a sturdy, well-founded trust in your own ability to handle whatever arises. You begin to trust yourself because you have seen yourself, day after day, make the choice to show up, to engage, to pivot, and to persevere. The focus shifts from chasing happiness, a fleeting and elusive state, to cultivating fulfillment, which is the deep, resonant satisfaction that comes from living in alignment with your values, one crafted day at a time. This journey also invites a profound sense of gratitude. When you are the active architect of your day, you begin to notice the raw materials with fresh eyes. You become grateful for the simple capacity to choose. You appreciate the quiet of the morning, the taste of your food, the comfort of a routine, the lesson hidden in a difficulty, and the beauty of a spontaneous moment of connection. Gratitude ceases to be a separate exercise you do and becomes the very lens through which you experience your self-created world. The shine you emit becomes, in part, a light of thankfulness, which in turn attracts more things to be thankful for. In the end, the call to rise and shine is the most personal and important project you will ever undertake. It requires no one's permission but your own. It costs nothing but a moment of awareness and a spark of will. It is a philosophy that honors both your strength and your fragility, acknowledging that some days you will build cathedrals and other days you will simply steady the foundations. Both are essential. Both are part of the beautiful, imperfect, and uniquely human art of daymaking. So, let the stars retreat. Let the horizon begin to glow. Tomorrow is coming, not as a predetermined script, but as an open field of potential. You have within you everything you need to meet it. The courage to rise, the spirit to shine, and the profound power to declare, with every action and every thought, that this day, in all its glorious possibility, will be yours to make. Rise, shine, begin.